I smiled like I agreed while everything inside me shifted. They said, "You're not the owner. You never were." And the room laughed. Not because it was funny, because they'd already decided that that's what I was. A guest with a lease and no claim. I kept my face calm. I didn't argue. I just looked at the wine glass in my hand, watched the light catch the rim, saw the reflection of their faces smiling, certain. Amused, and I opened a loop inside. Nothing would be the same. Comment your city, subscribe, and hit the bell. I worked 2 jobs to save for land outside the city. My hands were calloused from digging, but I didn't mind. The soil felt real. It wasn't just dirt, it was future. I met her at a community garden on a Saturday morning. She was planting marigolds, humming something off-key. Sleeves rolled up, sun catching the gold band on her left hand. We didn't talk much at first, just moved through the rows together, shared tools, watered plants. I remember the smell of damp earth and lavender oil on her skin. That's when I knew this was someone who lived in quiet intention. I bought the land in her name, registered it under both of ours, told her it was hers. I wanted her to feel safe, to feel seen. I didn't know then that safety could be a weapon. I placed that moment where I keep things I can't unknow. It started with a missed call. I was at the office, finalizing a transfer. The phone buzzed. Number. I answered, heard laughter in the background, a voice I didn't recognize. Then silence. I hung up. Later, she told me it was her sister, but the tone was different. Flat, like she'd rehearsed it. I didn't ask again. I just made a note in my journal. Call at 3:17 p.m. Voice in background, no name given. I filed it under things I don't need to know. But I did. I always do. I've spent years building trust like Bricksteady, one after another. I paid half the mortgage, handled all the utilities, fixed the leaky faucet before she even noticed. I cooked dinner 3 times a week. Always the same thing. Lentils, rice, vegetables. She lacked routine. So did I. I thought consistency meant care. I thought care meant belonging. I didn't realize how much those quiet rituals would cost later. Every Sunday, we walked to the market together. She'd buy oranges. I'd grab bread. We'd sit on the bench near the river, watch the ducks, eat our lunch in silence. The sun fell just right across her face at 2:45 p.m. Always. I used to think that was love. Not grand gestures, just presence. The way she'd leave her coffee mug on the counter, handle facing out, like she expected me to refill it. The way I'd find her sweater folded neatly on the chair after she wore it. I didn't know those things were being cataloged elsewhere. I didn't know they were being erased. It's funny how imbalance hides in everyday chores until it doesn't. The first time I noticed it was during a family gathering. Her parents came over. I brought the appetizers. She brought nothing. When her mom asked if I was okay with cooking, I said yes. She said, "He likes doing it." I didn't correct her. He just nodded, but I saw the look in her father's eyes like I was a favor, not a partner. Then came the money. I paid for the car repairs. She mentioned it once, then never again. I paid for the new fridge. She said, "Good job." No thanks. No recognition. I started keeping receipts. Not because I wanted to fight, because I needed to remember. I kept them in a folder labeled household. I updated it every Friday night. I didn't tell anyone. I just documented, like I was tracking weather patterns. One day, I found her checking the bank app. She saw me. Looked away. I didn't say anything, but I locked the account. Changed the password. Not to either. Not to hide, to protect. To protect. I didn't want to be the one who broke the silence, but I couldn't let it stay broken either. Their laughter finished the sentence I'd been avoiding. It happened at her brother's wedding. I was standing near the bar, holding a drink. Everyone was laughing. Someone said, "Hey, isn't that the guy who pays for everything?" A pause, then more laughter. I turned. She was watching me, not with concern, with amusement. I looked down at my glass. The ice clinked against the side. I didn't move. I didn't speak. I just stood there, letting the silence grow. The room got quieter. People stopped laughing. Someone cleared their throat. I took a sip. Slow.com. Then I said, "Yes, that's me," and walked away. I didn't see her face after that, but I felt it. The shift. The weight of being seen as less than. As temporary. As expendable. By morning, everything would be exactly where it belonged. I went home that night and opened the folder. I pulled out the land deed, the bank statements, the receipts, the emails. I scanned them, sent copies to a lawyer. I changed the locks. Not because I was afraid, because I was done. I called my brother. Told him what happened. He said, "You should have known." I said, "I didn't." But I did now. I called the real estate agent. Asked about selling the land. She said it was mine to sell. I said, "No. It's ours." She said, "But you're the one who paid for it." I said, "And she's the one who sold it." She paused, then said, "That's not possible." I said, "Then explain why the title is in her name alone." I didn't yell. I just waited, and when she didn't answer, I hung up. I booked a flight, left a note on the kitchen table. Short, clean. I'm leaving. Take care of yourself. I didn't wait for a reply. I didn't need one. Reality is loud when you can prove it. The calls started the next day. Her mother called, said I was ungrateful. Said I had no right. I showed her the bank transfers. The dates, the amounts. The amounts. I sent her the email where I wrote, "This land is ours. We'll build a life here." She didn't respond. Her brother called. Said I was ruining the family. I sent him the contract, the signed documents, the proof that I'd paid 90% of the cost. He said, "She's your wife. You have to compromise." I said, "I did, for 10 years. Then I ended the call. They tried legal threats. Site Primera Kuhult, NET. Take the land. I showed them the original agreement. The notarized form, the witness signatures. I said, "You don't own this. You borrowed it." I didn't gloat. I just stated facts. And slowly, the story changed. From he selfish to she misrepresented ownership. From he left to he was pushed. The neighbors started asking questions. The lawyer confirmed. The sale was invalid. The land was mine. I didn't celebrate. I just packed my bags. 5 years later, I live in a small house. By the coast, I run a landscaping business. I work mornings. Walk the beach at sunset. I don't check my phone after 8 p.m. I don't follow social media. I don't care what they're doing. I know they're still in the same house. Still fighting. Still pretending. I read about it once. A news article. Local couple splits after property dispute. I didn't click. I didn't care. I just sat on my porch, watched the waves, smelled the salt air, and remembered the taste of that wine glass, the one I held when they laughed. I don't hate them. I don't pity them. I just understand. I'm not the past year looking at the deed. I saw her last week, at the grocery store. She was buying eggs. I was in line behind her. She didn't see me. I didn't speak. I just watched her. I walked past her. Didn't look back. I didn't need to. I already knew. I left the door closed. Not with anger. I just stopped playing a game I never agreed to. And that's enough. The land was mine. Always. I never said that aloud, not until the lawyer handed me the official notice. Title restored. Sale void. Ownership transferred back to original buyer. Primera. Esta red. Italiano. Felt the paper in my hands. Cold. Real. Final. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just walked to the window, opened it, and let the wind carry the document into the yard, like a letter delivered to a ghost. I didn't need to prove it anymore. The world already knew, but I still dreamt of that night, the one where I stood frozen in front of the mirror, trying to fix my tie, knowing I was about to walk into a room full of people who didn't see me. Not really. They saw the man who paid the bills, the one who cleaned the house, the one who stayed quiet, but not the one who owned the land, not the one who built the foundation. I woke up gasping, sweat on my forehead, heart pounding. I reached for the photo on my nightstand of one of us planting the first tree on the property. Her smiling, me grinning, sunlight filtering through the leaves. I touched her face, then mine. I whispered. I didn't fail. I just stopped believing. Because the truth is I wasn't wrong. I was just too kind. For 10 years, I fed the illusion. I funded the lie. I paid for the meals, the groceries, the rent, the repairs, the holidays, the birthdays, the vacations. I bought her a ring. I paid for her sister's wedding. I covered her father's medical bills. I did it all with a smile, with pride, with the belief that love meant sacrifice. That partnership meant giving without expecting. But I forgot one thing. Love doesn't require surrender, and generosity shouldn't come with a price tag. I started noticing the cracks earlier than I admit. Small things. The way she'd use my credit card, then forget to pay it. The way she'd cancel plans with me to go out with friends, then accuse me of being too clingy. The way she'd answer the phone with "Hi, honey," when it was her cousin calling. The way she'd laugh at my jokes, then repeat them to others like they were hers. I didn't confront her. I didn't argue. I just wrote it down. In a notebook, under headings. Financial discrepancies, boundary violations, emotional withdrawal. I didn't write to punish. I wrote to survive, and then came the call. She said, I sold the land. It's better this way. We're starting fresh. I didn't panic. I didn't shout. I said, okay. Then I walked to the computer, opened the file, found the receipt, the bank transfer, the date, the amount, the signature, everything. I called the lawyer, sent the evidence, waited. 3 days later, the title was reversed. I didn't tell her. I didn't need to. I just posted a single photo online, a shot of the land, green and untouched, with the caption, "Some things aren't gifts, they're investments." And I've always been good at returns. The comments flooded in. Some supported me. Some blame, some called me cold. But most said the same thing. I've been there. And that's when I realized I wasn't just reclaiming land. I was reclaiming myself. Now, I wake up to birdsong. I plant flowers. I drive a truck with my name on the door. I don't know anyone anything. Not my ex. Not her family. Not society. I am free. And when I pass by that old house still standing, still crumbling, I don't feel anger. I feel peace. Because I know now, the only thing worth owning isn't property. It's your own truth. I'm not the past year looking at the deed, and I've already signed it.